Hey everyone, welcome back to DR Sports and welcome back to another Wimbledon roundup. It's day 5, it's Friday, it's nearly the weekend and I'm here with Alex. I'm back, how are you, mate?
Good, mate. It's been weird without you the last couple of nights.
Well, thank you very much.
But you're back and we can rejoice again on what is another great day of tennis.
Yeah, another great day of tennis. The singles got wrapped up rather quickly. Did you have a late one last night? You think Jack Draper may be going to the end?
Yeah. We were on till he was on, and we saw a lot of that game. Played really well, actually. I thought Draper. There was a few moments where obviously it wasn't looking good, but
Yeah, well, I mentioned that singles have finished early because we do have Jamie Murray and Venus Williams out on court. Jamie Murray, obviously, he's always been a specialist when it comes to the doubles. Venus Williams, who's, in the twilight years of her career, but she's still looking fantastic out there. They're currently 1 set up and 2-1 up with a breakup. So they're looking okay, and we've got an eye on that, which it looks to be on court 1. So, enjoying that as well. We've got a lot to go through today because there have been some fantastic results for the Brits. Right. I can't remember, yesterday or the day before where we lost Murray, I think it was 2 days ago. We lost Murray, we lost Raducanu. I can't remember someone else we lost quite early in the tournament. So it's been a good day for British tennis, but also just for some of the aspiring champions, the likes of Ons Jabeur, Novak Djokovic, just I think cruising is the word you'd use. Yeah,
flying through it. One man that didn't fly through it today was Isner. We saw his monstrous performance against Murray the other day. Lee and I were covering that, and we said that was one of the best, not only performances, but service games we've ever seen at a Wimbledon. And Lee said, credit to Lee, he said, watch the next game, he'll be finished. He'll have nothing left, and that's what happened today for him.
Exactly it. And obviously, as you said, we were live watching that here. And I made a point when Murray won his first round game, I said, just watch out though, because his potential route for the next 3 could be Isner, well we knew it was Isner, then Sinner, and then Alcaraz, who put in another tremendous performance today. He didn't get past Isner, and look, it's all projected. I thought Murray actually played quite well on the day, but Sinner was absolutely fantastic, so I wanted to keep an eye on this game. A little bit later we'll go into it, because it was a 6-4, 7-6, 6-3 win for Jannik Sinner against John Isner. But the real talk, the first place to start, is on the women's side. Heather Watson beating Kaja, I hope I pronounced this right, Kaja Juvan, 7-6, 6-2, and she's reached round 4 of Wimbledon for the first time in her career. 12 years she's been trying to break past that round 3 barrier. Obviously, players like Azarenka and Serena Williams have been in her way, not easy players to get past. But at the age of 30, she's finally done it. And a massive congrats to her, because she was very good today and she came through some really pressurised moments. A few moments where it looked like it was maybe getting away from her a little bit. Not getting away from her, but there are a couple set points, match points that she was just trying to get over the line with, but she eventually did, and she said herself in the post-match that she never makes it easy. Yeah,
I watched her post-match interview on court. She was thankful to the crowd for pushing her over the line. She joked to say she wants them all to come back for a 4th round game, and as you say, and you could see when the match finished, and she finished it in a really strong manner as well, but when she did, she fell to her knees, she kissed the floor, she couldn't really believe that she'd done it, and the relief, the feeling of just pure relief on her face was just so visible, and she's up there with Mr. Norrie as Brits that are still flying the flag going into the second week, which is what everyone wants, really, to get into that second week.
That's exactly it. And I remember Pippa in the preview saying that she's never felt so good about British tennis, and you can see why, because so many, the Raducanus and the Murrays are the names that come to people when they're talking about British tennis. And that's not to say that people don't know Heather Watson and Norrie, because they've done great things in the game as well, but it's them who are flying the flag, as you mentioned. I was watching Heather Watson today, and I was dipping in and out because I was also keeping an eye on Jabeur versus Parry, that was it wasn't a really good game. There was some really good. It was one of those games that actually looks a little bit more one-sided than it was, but we'll touch on that in a sec. Watching the Heather Watson game, there were a few pressurised moments. It went to deuce on her serve at 5-all in the first. She pulled out 2 massive forehands and I just sat there and I thought, that's good. You're kind of sticking to your game in the really pressurised situation. On commentary, they're saying that she's got a little bit of a history, or in the past she used to maybe overthink her game a little bit, play it a little bit safe at times. but she was hitting some really big points in crucial moments, because we all know at 5-all deuce, you're kind of thinking, I can't get broken here, because then they're serving for the first set, and it really does heap the pressure. She held her own, 2 big points. She takes it to the tie-break, storming the tie-break to a 6-4, 6-3, 6-4 lead, I can't remember, but she loses 3 points in a row, 6-all, and then wins at 8-6 to take the first set. And to suffer those mini setbacks in a game, and then sort of come through anyway and claim that first set, shows some real steel, and something that probably comes with experience, I imagine.
Yeah, well, listen, she's no spring chicken. She's coming into her peak years, I saw Sue Barker say earlier, she's now in the best form of her career. She's playing the best tennis of her career. Luke C in the comments says, so happy for Heather Watson, not her very best performance today, but it didn't need to be. Delighted she's in round 4. How far will she go? I wonder.
Yeah, we'll have a little look at who's next for in a sec. Just to quickly touch on that second set, because obviously she stormed to a 5-love lead. She was serving for it, broken to 5-1. Then Yuvan held her serve to 5-2. And again, it went to another deuce, and it got a little bit nervy. I think there were 3 deuce games in a row, and you're thinking, it's going to come for her. We've seen crazier things in tennis than someone winning 5 games in a row, but I was thinking, surely not, with the momentum of the Wimbledon crowd, the way she'd been playing. And she eventually got it over the line. Was that just a little sense of the nerves that still linger a little bit? And, just getting over the line was a big thing for her.
That was it. As long as you're over the line, it doesn't matter how you've done it. And especially in tennis, when it's such an individual sport, you can't really rely on any teammates unless you are playing doubles, of course. But when it's just singles, you're looking around for help, but you've got to find it from within. You've got to dig deep. And there was a couple of moments where you thought, is she going to throw this away? Yeah. Is she not going to cross the line? But she did in the end. And I think even if she does make a few more mistakes in round 4, I think she's still got enough to, because she made a couple of unforced errors today, but I still think she's got enough to at least now, I would say she has to get through to the quarters, and then if she can get through to the semis, then the pressure really ramps up, and then the mistakes can maybe creep back in, but it's all about using that experience to her advantage now. Well,
her opponent is Jules Niemeyer. Niemeyer? Hope I've pronounced that right. Now, what I will say, I'll hold my hands up, I don't know anything about her, but looking at her run, she did beat Annette Kontaveit, who was the 2nd seed going into this tournament, beat her on Wednesday 6-4, 6-love. So she's got someone who's coming in on good form and will definitely be feeling confident. When you're beating the 2nd seed, that's pretty impressive. Yep. You'll be feeling confident about that. But as well as all that going on, she's also got the doubles tomorrow, and she's playing with Harriet Dart, another Brit as well. So Heather Watson and Harriet Dart together in the doubles against Krunic and Zalamidze, hope I've pronounced that right, at 1 p.m. tomorrow on court 16. So she's definitely pushing herself, and we've seen that some singles players are doing a little bit better in the run than expected. The likes of Tan, who beat Serena Williams, pulling out the doubles. Even Kyrgios pulled out the doubles. He was meant to be playing with Kokkinakis. So, as far as we're aware, that's set to go ahead. She did play even today. Sorry, I've just had a little look here. She's played today in a doubles as well with Harriet Dart. So she's playing a lot of tennis. I'd love to know what time that was. So 6-2, 6-4. She played the doubles against Kuchova and Bektas. So, she's going ahead with it. She's not pulling out of that. So credit to her. She's really putting herself around in the tournament, the championships this year.
Yeah, and this is the thing. We saw Peniston go out the other day. The next day, he's in the doubles tournament. It's like, once you step foot on this lawn, you don't really want to come off. So if a game comes up and you want to be involved, you don't know when you're going to get this opportunity again. I mean, that's probably what Venus is thinking right now, if I'm honest. You know? And Jamie, we're not going to really get far / even qualify for the men's singles, maybe in Jamie's case, but Venus as well knows she hasn't got long left, and if they can squeeze in some doubles games, why not?
That's the thing. It makes sense. I don't know if they even bother. I don't know if Jamie Murray ever even really went for the singles, but Venus hasn't for a while. I remember her great game against Goff back 3 years ago or so. It's an interesting one. See, we do some on-the-spot research, but Harriet Dart and Heather Watson, definitely two to keep an eye on in the doubles as well. There's one thing about Heather Watson, and I'm really not an expert. I don't watch all her games. I can only really talk about what I saw today.
Yeah.
And there are a couple moments later in the game when I mentioned, because she said she didn't get nervous. She actually felt that, she said that Juvan actually just got better. And to be fair, she was hitting some wonderful shots in big points. There's kind of, I call it the Nadal, when you're running across court and you just kind of whip it, down the line. She pulled a few of those out, Juvan. But Watson hit a few second serves. There was one in particular that was kind of around 60, 70, I can't remember, did they measure it in miles per hour, whatever it was? Anyway, it's quite a slow second serve.
I think it was 69 actually. I mean,
right.
You've just seen Jamie Murray there serve 117. That's probably around about an average maybe in the men's for a second serve. But again, I don't necessarily think in the women's game it's necessarily as important to have a massive serve. I mean, we're seeing some of these guys serving 130, 140. I think the record is 168, which is just out of this world pretty much. But wow,
some classic doubles there. I mean, that was a good match. That was a good little rally there.
But I mean, listen, she's serving slower, but she still won the game.
Yeah, but that second serve, it invited a big backhand. It invited a big forehand return, and I just think there's one thing. Just if it's not a spin serve, it's keep them into the body or a bit of pace, make them have to almost slice and just push it back into the court.
With the second serve, there's always that little tiny bit of doubt in your mind that goes, just get it in. Just get it in and make sure that you start a rally now because
absolutely.
When players play and they go for the big serve and it's missed, often they go for another big serve and they lost the point. And we are going to be having a little debate about serves, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we definitely are. We've got a
specific type of serve.
I know
it's becoming quite popular this year.
Well, it's definitely been an interesting area of discussion. Let's go through some comments. Juice Wild, sorry, I don't know if you read this comment, but he said Norrie played great, but his opponent wasn't of much quality. True, but they kept saying that Johnson
was all right, man.
He hit some big forehands, and they were saying that there's a better player in there than what actually.
He's a big bloke. He was a difficult opponent for anyone. I really do think he would have given anyone a headache. And he obviously knocked out. Who did he knock out before, Johnson?
Oh, I can't remember.
Pretty sure it was a Brit.
Let's have a little look.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Cameron Norrie. On the spot research again.
Yeah, Steve Johnson. I'll go through some more comments. Mike Green says Heather should have beaten Serena a few years ago. Had match point, breeds confidence for her. Yeah. Just not for this, but into the back end of the year. Tennis files. Here we go on Johnson. He says Johnson is a top bloke. Stepped on my shoe at a players' party once in DC. Apologised and asked him about his slice backhand. Tennis files, who we've seen him every night in the comments that we've done these shows. Are you a tennis player then? Do you go to these tennis parties?
Yeah, I want to know more about tennis
stars. At these parties, that's what I want.
I've got to say, I'm really curious. Tennis stars, give us everything, man. That's interesting.
Spill the beans, you know.
Johnson beat Peniston in the last round in 3 sets.
Peniston,
he was also a set down, but 5-2 up in the second against Grigor Dimitrov in the first round. So he was definitely giving him a good game. There is a super chat in from Shreth, which I'm going to acknowledge, but Shreth, I'm really, really sorry. It's a football-related one about Rafinha and Arsenal and everything. We're not going to discuss Arsenal on this stream, but...
Seems to be another football one, 3 comments down from that.
Is there? Oh, God, is there? Let me have a little look. Which one? What, him telling me to read the super chat?
ASG? No, three down from the super chat.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, see, guys, we're not going to entertain the football chat. I'm really sorry. It's a tennis show. We're going to stick to tennis. It's a good set. Yes, he's very happy about Mo Salah. Mike says, you read Mike's comment as well. Luke says, Yannick Sinner was very impressive today. Luke, he absolutely was. And I'm going to dedicate some time to that performance because he was brilliant. Luke also reminding us that he beat Ryan Peniston, as mentioned. Right, let's go into, what's Tennis Fast says, into the body is especially great for doubles, really sets up your net partner for the put-away volley. Yeah, we're talking about mixing up the serve and all that.
If you can spin it right into someone's body as a second serve, it's almost as good as, you know, a more powerful straight serve.
Yeah. Because the end result's the same. It's, I just need to get this back. Yeah. And that gives you a little bit of time on a lofted return to get to the net and just try and finish it off. So yeah, I think you're spot on. Novak Djokovic beat Miomir Kecmanovic, fellow Serb player. 6-love, 6-3, 6-4. I didn't catch a lot of this. I was watching a lot more Jabeur and Watson today. But listen, I don't want to be rude. It just feels like business as usual for Djokovic.
I don't think that's rude. I mean, no one really expected him to drop many headaches in this game, and he wasn't really presented with many The game was quite quick, to be fair. It wasn't one of these games that lasts for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, business as usual. Djokovic advances into the next round, and for him, he's just ticking off the days as they come. And he goes into the second week, as we predicted, as business is as usual for him.
Yeah. Did you catch much of it? I mean,
Bits and bobs. I mean, I was consumed a lot today by the aforementioned Mo Salah news on DR Sports and the COP TV.
Yeah.
So I've been looking at that, and to be honest, it was one of those games where every time I looked, I thought,
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I couldn't really get engrossed in it because it was one-way traffic.
Well, of course, anyone who was keeping an eye on Djokovic more closely, do let us know in the comment section what you made of his performance. I did notice a stat that listen, other people might say that's kind of normal, or it didn't read normal to me. Only 50% of his first serves were in today.
Who's this?
Djokovic.
Right.
Did hit a few aces, did hit a few double faults. Sometimes stats can paint a picture. Now, we in football always mention the eye test, don't we? And ultimately, it's what you see is the best way to analyse any sport you're watching. Lovely shot there from
shot.
What's his name? Anyway, the guy who's not Jamie Murray or Venus Williams.
Rosolika is the woman. That's a great shot.
Rosolika and Venus, right. Yeah, that was a lovely shot. Slice shot into the tram lines. Sorry, he had a 50% first serve in rate today, which is only half of your first serves going in, isn't great. I just wonder whether that was maybe an area of his game that was a little bit rusty today. If anyone was keeping an eye on him today, let me know. But that's something he'll want to improve on. We talk about the serve being so important, and we mentioned John Isner and his performance against Murray. Yeah. In terms of the ground strokes, there probably wasn't a lot in it, and Murray takes it to love 30 when it's a crucial time of the game and he needs to break. And I think he hit 4 aces in a row, Isner. So that is an area of his game that Djokovic has always been very good at, if not underrated at, but he'll want to improve on that.
Yeah,
on that first
let me explain
percentage.
it like this, right? Isner, 36 aces, wins against Murray, loses the next game. Yeah. Djokovic, 50% of serves in, still wins. Yeah. So you can look at the stats, Isner's not in the next round. Yeah. He's done all his beans, really, didn't he, in the first game of the week. So, yeah, a massive serve, it's never going to go away. You know how important that is, and if you're quick with it, if you're accurate, normally you're going to win a game. Yeah. But yeah, 50%, I can't lie, that is a bit of an anomaly for Novak. And as you said, he'll be looking to get that up to at least 75, 80% in the next game, at least 75. Because as you advance into the latter stages of this tournament, there's less space for errors, and as we can see in the game of tennis, almost every game, it's millimetres, it's inches to separate the two players in these big points. So yeah, the serve will have to be better from Novak, but at the same time, I don't think he's going to lose too much sleep over it tonight. Well,
I wonder whether it was a tactical thing, because against Kokkinakis, only the 1 ace, but a much better first serve percentage of 71%, winning 82% of points on his first serve. Kecmanovic 6 aces today, so he went up in aces, even though 50%, didn't make it. Didn't make it, and he had to resort to a second serve. I don't know. That reads to me as putting more into it, maybe trying to force those bigger serves more often. Kind of higher risk, higher reward. Maybe trying to keep the points a little bit shorter. I mean, he did fly to a 6-love, 6-3, 6-4 win. Yeah. Maybe trying to keep it a little bit quicker today, and where he was worked a little bit harder than he'd have liked in the first round, and Kokkinakis in the second set on Wednesday gave him a little bit of trouble, not too much. He probably kept things a little bit quicker today. Could it be that?
Yeah, I think
maybe.
Still,
I don't know.
Some of the stats are still impressive, though. To be fair.
Yeah, of course.
Break points, he was all over them. Receiving points, won. Total points, won. Games, won. Max game. I mean, he won 7 in a row still, so we can't criticise him too much.
It's not. Yeah, absolutely. It's far from criticism. It's just interesting.
No, I just slagged him off.
No, sorry. Yeah. Well, we've got to find something to critique, haven't we?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a lovely little get at the volley there.
Second set's looking tasty now. Actually.
Yeah, it is 4-4. I really want to get their names. Venus and Rosolika against Murray and Williams. Yeah, good game.
So there's 2 Venuses on the court right now. First and a second name Venus.
Yeah.
Right, interesting.
I know. You don't often come across.
I just wanted to send a little quick shout out to Alcaraz, Carlitos Alcaraz, who I think is doing his job under the radar right now.
Yeah.
Not many people. I mean, listen, he hasn't really been on centre court much yet. He was on court 1 again today. And he's just slowly doing his business away in the background. He's going, like I said, under the radar. And when it starts to get to the 4th round and you see him in the quarters, which I do think he'll get there, he's got to be up there, man, because he's just doing his business. And he only lost 6 games in total today out of 3 sets.
Yeah, loads of people, that is impressive. Loads of people said to me, keep an eye on Alcaraz, you know, and I'll be really honest with everyone. I went to this tournament, I didn't know who he was. I know he was the 5th seed, and some quick research just tells you he's been going far in tournaments, that he's definitely one to be watching, and his ranking will tell you that as well. But he's missed it. Oh, he's absolutely fluffed it.
Oh dear.
That was poor from Venus. Not Venus Williams, Venus, yeah. But where were we? Alcaraz, yes, quietly doing his business. Played on court 1 in his first round game. Otherwise, I think it's been on court 2 and court 3 or around there anyway. And he's after a 5-setter to open the tournament, he seems to have settled. And when I do catch glimpses of him, and I'll be honest, he's always been put at a time where there's another game I'm watching as well.
He's not getting the rub of the green in terms of total maximum viewership.
Exactly, in terms of coverage. Yeah, absolutely. There's always something else on, so I've always had my eye elsewhere. But when I have clocked in, he's hitting some great shots, looks really mature, 19 years old.
It's a bit like being a band at a festival and you've waited your whole life to play this stage. You get one of the smaller stages and you're on at 7:30, you've got all your family coming down, but Oasis have just performed on the main stage. So you're probably going to go and watch them.
Yeah.
But your time will come. You will get on that main stage, Garcia. Don't worry, Carlitos.
Is that Wonderwall, mate? Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, mate.
Yeah. Oh,
hey,
no.
Dad, where are you going?
Yeah, exactly. Let's jump into the comments. Luke says, Isner magnificent versus Murray, then gets outplayed today. Saw it coming a mile away, as Lee Judges did as well. You're absolutely right. What else have we got? Tennis Files, big up, gents. I get a media pass to our DC tournament here. City Open?
City Open, yeah.
City Open.
Sponsor, yeah.
An account of my online content podcast and got into the players' party. I'm sure you get the hookup too.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
You need to give us the hookup.
We are very new into the world of tennis.
I mean,
so, you know, let's do something together. Luke says, a very standard performance by Novak, no surprises. Luke, let me know what you think of that serve. I mean, I'm judging this off stats, so get in the comments, we'll spot it. Let us know what you made of his first serve today. Is it a little abnormal that he was at 50%?
Well, Carlos, to be fair, was 59%. So it isn't a massive amount of difference.
It's not a massive amount.
But I understand what you mean in terms of the level that Novak sets for himself is supremely high.
Mr. Consistent.
That's it.
Always, yeah. He also says, Ons Jabeur is just magnificent. Some of her shot making is ridiculous. That overhead put away from a tight angle close to the net was unbelievable. She's fun to watch. The one to beat Iga too. Tennis Files, I agree. We're going to talk about Ons Jabeur in a bit. Tennis Files also says, impressive, Djokovic still won 88% of his first serve points despite the lowest first serve percentage. Exactly. Luke as well says, Ons making it look easy, making it look so easy. Currently, can't see her losing, to be honest. I really can't. She is Pippa's tip to win it as well. And then he says, Carlos Alcaraz has so much to his game, great personality. The crowd absolutely love him here at Wimbledon already, despite very limited matches at the All England Club. Will win a Grand Slam, in my opinion. Yeah, we are keeping an eye on you. You're absolutely right to point him out, because in all the shows I've been on, I've wanted to talk about him. Yeah, there's just always been something else, and he deserves more attention. Do you know what?
That's why I had to give him that airtime then.
And I've spotted who he's got next, which I'm going to reveal later. People know already. People know already who he's got next round. So you don't know? No. Well, I'll save it for a bit later. Don't go looking, because it's referring to someone I want to speak on a little bit later in the show, and we can have a real proper preview. Right, in for some game time. We've been having a few little games on these shows, having a bit of fun. You're yet to throw a tennis ball at me randomly.
Well, do you know what? Catch that. Yeah, well, it's decent.
Look at that. Well, I was expecting that a little bit.
Again,
oh my God! See, no, that was to the left. That was to the left. Lefty.
Still Arsenal, really.
Luckily, there's no Pims. Although we will get the Pims back. We actually
we've drunk it all.
We got so drunk all week that we
Should have
didn't.
seen me and Lee last night, mate.
Really?
Knocking them back.
Fair
Tell
enough. So we will get them back because otherwise we can't have an empty box. In fact, I don't really know why that's there.
Just take it down.
You know what?
I mean, unless Pims are going to pay us.
No, yeah, well, it's just aesthetics though. No?
Well, leave it on then.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, there you go. It looks nice. Right, on to what's my laptop doing? Verifying Microsoft Outlook. This is not the time to be doing this. The A to Z.
A to Z?
A to Z sounds better,
A to Z.
but in England we say Z.
Yeah, go
but
on.
A
We'll
to
go
Z
with
is
Z.
better. No, let's
It's
go Z.
Wimbledon.
Z is more fun.
Okay, go.
You're
go
right.
with Z.
The A to Z, whatever you want, of tennis.
With AGT and James B.
Well, look at that.
That's a rhyming tongue.
We should write music. No? Poetry? Anyway, let's get into it.
Yeah.
The game is very simple. We're going to go through the alphabet and as quickly as possible shout out any word. Should we do one each? You guys in the comments can do it.
So we're going to A to Z alternately. It can be a tennis player. It could be an object that you would find at Wimbledon. It can be anything tennis related, okay? So players, first names, second names, and we go A to Z.
I've got the alphabet here in front of me because I will genuinely forget what comes
Yeah,
next.
me too, to be fair.
So I've got it up. Here we are. You can have a little look.
Okay.
Join us in the comments if there's anything we can't mention.
Do you want to start?
Yeah. So it
ahead.
could be any word relating to tennis, right? So just an example, and we'll veto it. But T could be tennis, for example. It doesn't have to be a player.
Oh no, that's you can have that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Just.
Cool. All right. So shall I start with A?
Go on.
All right. A. Alcaraz.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
I will go with. I mean, ball is an easy one, isn't it?
Nice.
Tennis ball.
Nice.
Ball.
Ball could be Borg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good on ball. Could have said that. Could have said. Yeah, we'll go with ball.
Cool. C. Court.
Court. Yeah, I'll give you that. D. Djokovic.
Oh, nice.
Get in there.
E. Emma Raducanu.
Oh. F.
We should really put a timer on this. We'll do it again another
F.
day.
Oh. French Open.
Oh, nice.
Have some of that.
That's
Put
good.
a tournament
Okay.
into it.
G. Why did the name Gary come to mind? I don't know Gary.
It's mad because the thing you're touching right now, you could actually.
Grass.
Yeah.
Grass.
You're going
Yes.
G.
Well, yeah,
Slapping while
G.
slapping grass.
What could it be? G. Love it. Grass. Go on. You're up. H.
H.
Well, on the topic of surfaces.
Hard court.
Nice. I think so.
Oh, I can have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, hard court.
I
could have said Henman as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Fake.
You could have said Hawkeye.
Could have said,
That would have been a good
should
one.
have said Hawkeye. Easy one, mate.
Have you got an easy one?
Yeah, come on, we were just talking about it.
We were just talking about
Yeah.
it. Oh no. They had a timer there. Oh no.
Forget the timer.
Oh,
We've got time.
Indoor court.
So you could have had John Isner.
John Isner.
Isner,
That's an
but I'll
obvious
give
one.
you indoor court.
That's an obvious
I'll
one.
give you indoor court. J now.
John Isner.
John Isner. There you go. John.
K.
John.
Just John. Doesn't have to be John Isner.
Someone plays
John.
tennis called John.
Kecmanovic for K.
Fair
Just
play, I'll give you that.
Djokovic's opponent today.
Okay,
L.
L, I will go for the Lawn Association.
Lawn Tennis Association.
Lawn Tennis Association.
But yes,
LTA.
very, very good. LTA.
Thank you.
M. I'm going to go for
Easy. M.
match point.
Could have had Murray. Could have had Jamie Murray.
Could have had Jamie Murray, but match point, bit of fun.
N.
N.
Novak.
Novak or Nadal, lovely. O.
Or Nadal.
Ons Jabeur.
Yeah, nice.
P.
P.
Your favourite player. You've been saying his name all week.
Peniston.
Very good. Q. Oh.
Easy.
Qatar Open. Does it exist?
Queens.
That is bloody good. You're good. R.
R. I'm going to go with rain.
Rain.
You have to have that's something that
Who had
affects
F?
tennis. Rain.
So we've gone R and F, and no one has said Roger or Federer.
Yeah,
I
that's
can't believe
cool.
we've not
Pretty
included
cool.
him.
I've said Rain over Roger.
You went with Rain.
That's
Yeah.
a fair one though.
Yeah.
Rain interrupts.
20-time Grand Slam winner? Rain.
Mother Nature.
S. S. Serena Williams. Fantastic.
T. I'm not going to say tennis.
No,
I'm going to
good.
go with something a bit better, hopefully.
Yeah.
Tim Henman.
Lovely. Topspin.
Could have had that. Are we going down the whole Tashini? Could we have said that?
Who?
I feel like we should do another one. I feel like once we've
Well, the
finished this,
comments are
we've got to
sending
go
in
back.
some great ones.
We've got to go back and do another A to Z because there's so many
There's
options.
so many. Okay. What did you say for T?
Tim.
So yes, you did. I'm going for underarm serve.
Oh,
I know, you like that. That
I
was
like
nice.
that.
V.
Venus.
Very
That's
good.
the V.
W. Williams.
Yeah. Hey.
X.
Oh wow, I knew I'd
This
get
is
X.
tough.
Um,
I feel like there's a word. Let us know in the comments. I'm going to come to the comments. Get everyone
I
shouts in a
mean,
bit.
X.
Oh, that's a lovely get there.
Anyone going to help me in the comments with the old X? No.
They were at that point. That's unbelievable.
Xavier Malice. Xavier Malice. Says
Sure.
Tennis files.
Cool. I believe them.
Yeah,
It probably
if he
is. There
said
must
it,
be.
I
Yeah.
believe that. Xavier.
Y.
Oh, we were talking about brands the other day.
Oh, is it mine?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's you.
Y.
Go on.
Yeah. Oh my God, what is it?
The brand that people have been wearing at Wimbledon so far. I claimed it was a badminton brand. Do you remember it?
Please. I was about to say Uniqlo.
No, that doesn't begin with Y.
I know. Bad moment. I don't know. Who is it? Who is it?
No?
No.
You got an X?
Oh, no, I forgot.
No?
Yeah, is there no other word? Anyway, we'll move on. And Z. Oh, that. She's playing in the women's singles. She's playing in the women's. I want to say Zakari or something, I think. She's highly ranked.
Zakari.
I've not really paid attention to her results, but.
Oh, I got it right.
Oh,
Mate, I'm a genius. Zhang.
Zhang, well done. And I meant Sakari, not Zakari.
in.
So my bad. There we go. This is what the comments are saying. We had Gigi Fernandez, F for fault, very good.
Yeah,
We had H for Heather Watson, also for W as well. Curves Glass, there's great chemistry, you two.
Oh,
Thank you very much. I love doing these shows with you. Dos said F for Federer, Kecmanovic, yeah, we've got that in. S for Serena, R for Raducanu, R for Roland Garros. ASG says, this is absolutely riveting content. Thank you.
That
I'm
was
glad.
riveting.
I had fun.
Yeah.
Big up my guys, Alex and James. Great year. Thank you, Andrew. Esports says, James and Alex, I think I'm going to put on it, will be Andy Murray and Rafa Nadal in the final of Wimbledon 2022.
Impossible.
But Murray's out. But Rafa might make it. So, yeah, Murray might do it.
Is there, I was going to say, maybe on FIFA, what's the tennis equivalent of FIFA at the minute?
Well, I don't know.
Is
Is
there
it
a
well,
tennis- is
like
there
a top spin or virtual tennis?
Yeah,
something?
but I mean, there's no like EA Sports or
I don't know.
tennis, no.
And the ones I've played haven't been very good. So
I mean, we've all played the old virtual tennis on an arcade, maybe a PS2, and then the old PSPs. Do you remember playing virtual tennis on them?
On the PSP was great.
But then since then, in terms of a really good outlet for tennis fans to play tennis in a good, user-friendly game, I don't think there exists at the minute, no?
I'm not
Maybe
sure. There's not one game that I go, boom, that's
That's
pick
what I
that
mean.
up.
There's
Yeah.
no EA tennis like FIFA 22. There's no...
Stick tennis used to be a great game.
Yeah.
That was a great game.
Yeah, man.
But you know what ruined it for me? They took away 5 sets.
Stick tennis.
Yeah.
Too long.
No, it wasn't even that long. But it used to be best of 5, and they changed it to 1 set.
Disgrace.
So I was playing the slams, and I couldn't have the thrill of being 2 down, and it was a real shame. I really enjoyed
Rubbish, really.
it.
Wii tennis.
Yeah, that was a great one. Running around the.
You didn't really need to run around though. All you'd have to do is be sat there with the burger, a donut in this hand, and just do that. And then you've got other people like headbands on, breaking you know.
That was me. I used to run around the living room, just sort of,
shit.
yeah, smashing a vase. Yeah, and then smashing the controller if I hit it out. Yeah, new controllers, please.
Times have moved on.
Killer Boss's US Open. Yeah, that's another one. Semi-final predictions, asked James. You know what? Let's do that. Let's try and predict the semi-finals at the end of this show. I'm going to write in my little show notes because I do come prepared. We'll do semi-final predictions just to see how it's looking and who we think is going where. Loads of other shouts. Usini is a great shout for why. Very good. Yeah, you guys have been fantastic. How many have we got in the live chat? Oh, it's not telling. This is really annoying. But we have loads of you sending in comments. So big thank you for joining us. And this is our 5th show. We've really enjoyed it. Let's get back to the tennis. But it's always fun to throw in a little curveball content-wise. A little bit of fun to do something else. Let's talk about Ons Jabeur. And I'm going to be very selfish. I'm going to start by talking about Ons Jabeur.
I don't know that much about Ons Jabeur.
So let me start by saying, you could look at a 6-2, 6-3 win and say, yeah, okay, she strolled it again. Nice, she's booked her place. By the way, she's not dropped a set all tournament. If I just have a little look, I don't think you can
Great
say
name that as well.
Yeah. It's
what does that actually translate as? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Ons.
I'm not sure. But if you look, Swiatek dropped a set. Nadal has dropped a set this tournament.
Is she the only player not to?
Has dropped a set.
I think Alcaraz might be in that bracket as well.
No, he went to 5 in the first round.
How could I forget?
So I think of all the favourites or projected players to win a tournament, she might be the only one who's yet to drop a set. And by the way, you know, she has looked absolute quality so far in the tournament. But I will say, I was watching this game against Diane Parry. 19 years old. She's got a lovely one-handed backhand. And there are a couple games and rallies where she didn't get the game, she didn't get over the line. But she was really pushing on Jabeur. She was, I think, getting absolutely destroyed in that first set, pulled back a couple games, ultimately loses the set and gave her a bit more in the second. But she looked a really talented young player who I think is only going to build on it. Her one-handed backhand was fantastic to see. I'm a sucker for a one-handed backhand.
Yeah, me too.
I love watching Wawrinka, Gasquet, Tsitsipas.
Federer.
Dominic Thiem, I think, developed a one-handed backhand more recently. Most notoriously Roger Federer. And Diane Parry's was really good to watch. Ons Jabeur just had too much class and power, and I think she's going all the way to the final.
And you know what? Another brand, you know I love my brands.
Yes.
And you know, going back through the archives of tennis brand history, Lotto. She's
Yes.
probably, look, as you can see there, she's probably the only one I've seen so far, Lotto.
Yeah.
So yeah, great to see. Every brand has come back out of the woodwork this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Get in the comment section, guys. Let me know what you made of Ons Jabeur's performance. She was really good. And the thing I like about her, she looks very complete. She can get around the court really, really well. She mixes it up with drop shots. Her serve is good. She's got a really powerful forehand. She looks very... Do you know some players on court, they look unbelievably reassured. Then listen, a part of that's going to be who you're playing against and the level of opposition or whatever. But sometimes you tune into a match and you go, they look like a winner. They look like they could win it. And I'll give you an example of what I mean. And I guess the best example I can give is if I venture into the men's, and I've been watching more of the men's than the women's this tournament, although I've tuned into a lot of both. Tsitsipas, in his performance yesterday, I'm going to say something a bit out there. And remember, I can't watch everything. Let me know in the comments if you think this is fair. I think Tsitsipas' performance yesterday was... I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was the best men's singles performance I've seen so far at the championship. Little bounce.
Do you know what? That is a big shout. I'm going to have to disagree with you.
Go on.
And I would say, I know he's gone out today and it looks like it was a bit of an anticlimax. Looks like it was inevitable almost after you saw how much energy he put into that first. I think it was his second game actually, but I'm going to go with Isner against Murray.
Right.
I think so far that's the most complete performance I've seen. And again, it almost pales into insignificance because he's out now.
Sure.
But if we're just looking at that one game alone, individual performance, again, the serves, the returns, how he pressured Murray and eventually knocked him out. I mean,
Yeah.
That's the best for me.
I just felt watching Tsitsipas, backhand looking phenomenal, really, really, really aggressive. It's not that he wasn't worked, but he got through it fairly comfortably. And I just thought he looked really, really on top of his games. Luke, Tennis Files, any of you who are out there watching, please jump into the comment section. Tell me what you made of Tsitsipas's performance. But the reason I mention all this while I'm talking about Ons Jabeur is because there are certain performances that you watch and you go, yeah, this I can rely on you. There was an inconsistency. There isn't you don't feel they're particularly troubled. You even feel they maybe got a few levels to go. And I think certain performances, that Tsitsipas performance, that Jabeur performance, Novak Djokovic in his last 2 games, really, you've kind of just stopped and gone, they're looking comfortable. Kyrgios yesterday, you just think they are looking really, really comfortable on the grass. They're looking really very complete because, as we mentioned, on the grass, it's about having a big serve. It's about being a good returner for when you play those big servers. Sinner showed that today against Isner. It's about having your ground strokes on point because it's fast, because you don't get as much time. It's about getting around the court well. And I think they've been showing that. And yeah, Jabeur, who I hadn't even heard of before Pippa told me about her and said that she was her tip to win it, I'm getting it. I'm absolutely getting it. She looks absolutely fantastic.
No, she does. She does. And I think you mentioned the guys there who have come through fairly unscathed at the minute. The real test will be when we get to the quarterfinals and semi-final stage. That's when we see a lot more mistakes come out, and those that should be towards the latter stages deserve to be there.
Yeah.
I think it's time to almost get into our debate about the underarm frenzy.
I think it's absolutely time. Let's do it.
Alexander Boblik hit 6 underarm serves yesterday. I mean,
was it today?
Was it? Sorry, it was today.
Yeah, it was today. Yeah.
I mean, to do it 6 times.
Who was he up against?
In a game. I mean, I've heard of 1 or 2. You might want to catch them out. It's a bit.
Tiafoe, yeah.
Again, I hate to make a football reference, but it's a bit like taking a quick free kick.
Yeah.
You know, Henry scored a few, didn't he? Where he said to the ref, "Can I go?" And you just go.
Yeah.
But to do it 6 times in one game is
bold.
Bold.
One game. Now we're not talking one match. One game. I think anyway. Yeah, pretty sure it was in one game. Yeah. That's unbelievable.
I mean, could he not be bothered to serve? Do you think that was it? Because in one game, you only have, well, how many serves do you? Minimum's 4 serves, isn't it?
Minimum 4 first serves.
To do 6 in one game is totally unheard of. That has to be a record.
Well, here's what it must be. I mean, here's what Kyrgios had to say about it. Yeah, we've got the footage here. Go have a little look. If you want to know more about it, it's on the Wimbledon Twitter account, and Nick Kyrgios has retweeted it. Here's what Nick said. Obviously been previously criticised for the underarm serve. He says, "I love it. It's different. But if it were me, I would be accused of tanking and get fined a minimum of £15,000. Now, just have a little look at when in the match that happened. Just having a little look now. So it was in the 4th set, as he was 3-love down.
Right.
So there might be an element of, I mean, I don't think it is, but I mean, I understand why maybe there's an element of, are you even trying, whatever, for people who didn't watch the match. I think the underarm serve is here to stay. Andy Murray dropped one the other day.
He did.
And I think...
Hit the net, right? Or did it
no, he won the point, but the guy got there and then he won the point. I think the thing with the underarm serve, I like it. I was asked the other day what I thought about it. I didn't really explain it very well. What I do like about the underarm serve is you're keeping your opponent guessing. And it's so easy to just stand... it's not so easy. When you've got big servers, it's not easy. But, you know, you stand at the back of the court, you're anticipating, and if you hit a few drop shots and you want to get them to the net and you want to shorten points and you want to ask different questions, I don't see why you shouldn't be allowed to do that. And some people don't like it, but I think it's brilliant to mix it up. I think it's brilliant because the serve can be such a monotonous ace, or he's returned it, now we're rallying. I think if you want to mix it up, go for it.
Do you think an aspect of sportsmanship comes into it at all?
But
gamesmanship, I should say.
In what way?
In the way that we all know what tennis is like. It's a bit like in cricket, how the traditions, the etiquette are all set out. But it's a bit like in cricket, if the bowler's running up to the crease and he's about to bowl and he sees the opposing batsman just tipping his bat outside the crease a bit, he's got every right to, instead of bowling it, just fake it and just get the walking batsman out. Which, again, I've seen it happen. It's clever. But I do think there's a little bit of gamesmanship going on there. And I mean, there's nothing in the rules to say you can't do it, but to do it 6 times in one game, I mean, underarm serves are perfectly legal. So I guess there's nothing wrong with it. And as you say, I think it is going to stay. But if you're a player playing against someone who you know does it a bit, do you actually go your normal 2 yards behind the baseline to return a serve? Probably not. No. You might even push up. But then if the serving player sees that, then he might put a bit more power on it to make sure that you don't return it. It is actually a mind game. You know, as soon as you do that underarm, do you go to the net? Do you stay back? Do you wait? You know?
Well, again, I just, like I said before, I just think you're mixing up. It's something different. I get what you mean about etiquette, you know, but if it's legal, it's not a loophole. It's not a we don't have a rule for this, so I guess we've got to allow it. It's actually, you just can do it. Yeah. You know, tennis has been played over hundreds of years, if not more. You know, you are just allowed 100 years of centre court this year. You know, you are allowed to do it, and I like it. As I said, I think it adds more of a tactical approach. You know, now it's, do I stand so far back? That's something Sinner did today, which I'll touch on. You know, do you stand so far back? Do you want to be that little bit more? I'll give you an example. There was a thing Federer used to do called the sabre or something. I think that's what it was called. Let me know in the comments.
Shot through his leg?
No, not that. It was when, just before the player served, he'd make a quick dash to the edge of the service box, and he'd almost punch it straight back, so he was at the net quicker. And a lot of people didn't like it because they were saying, you're sprinting in while the person's trying to serve. Yeah. But I think, you know, so what if you want to put them off a little bit? So what if you want to make it uncomfortable? You know, the server's got such an advantage as it is because they can just absolutely leather one at you from, you know, whenever they're ready. They take as long as they want. They bounce the ball, they play with their head, they throw up. Oh, I'm not ready, actually, I'll catch it.
Go.
I'll start again. Yeah, not that ball. Yeah, no, give me, I need to look at all of these, please. There we go.
That's another thing I need to discuss with you.
Yeah,
what makes it a good, you know, why should this? Yeah, I know.
Less fuzzy.
It's just funny, isn't it? Because they all say.
Well, these are fresh. These are fresh. I mean, these are very unfuzzied.
These are box fresh, to be fair.
But I've got no problem with them going. Yeah, I want to mix it up. Bounce. Oh, hit. No, come on, be ready. Let's speed it up a little bit.
How about this for a brain turner? So, you're serving. You're bouncing the ball. In your head, you're going, I'm about to do an underarm serve.
Yeah.
And as you look up to do that underarm serve, you see what you were just talking about happen. He starts running towards you because he thinks that you might do an underarm serve, and then you've kind of double bluffed yourself.
Well, sure, but
it's rare. It would be rare.
It would be rare, but then again, okay, he's made a little dart. In that time, you've got to pull your arm back, throw it in the air, and he's got a little bit of time just to revert. If he's on the back foot, he, she, you know, I think it's great. I think do it.
Is it shithousery?
No.
No?
No.
I would say it straddles the line of tennis shithousery, I would say.
It is like playing a quick free kick.
It's a Panenka, it's a quick free kick, it's a bit cheeky.
Okay, I see what you're saying in that sense, in that sense.
You are trying to catch someone else.
It's not the dark arts, it's not like when you go down under contact in football.
You're not like, you know, digging out the ball and like in cricket when they try and tamper with the ball. It's not that, I mean...
No.
It is what it is. Let's do a poll though, I think.
Well, are you a fan of the underarm serve? I'm hitting a big fat yes. 81% of people are as well. So let us know. Let's go through some comments and we'll go through the last game I want to touch on. Luke says, I don't know if you watched Alex de Minaur, hope I pronounced that right. Last night versus Jack Draper, the Australian was phenomenal. He's one to watch. Doesn't have a big serve, etc., but his ground strokes are unreal, passing shots. We'll keep an eye on. Yeah, Jack Draper, as you said, played well in that game, but couldn't make it through. I want to give another shout out to a Brit yesterday. It was fantastic. Katie Bolter watched her whole game. She was immense from a set down as well to turn it round. She was fantastic. And I was actually sad I couldn't be on the show yesterday to discuss it because Tsitsipas and Bolter, 2 players I thought were brilliant yesterday. Luke says you've got to change things up sometimes. Players get angry and dislike players for playing the underarm serve. I have liked it, gets the crowd involved and laughing. Yeah, I agree. He says also more and more doing it nowadays. Kyrgios has started a trend, it seems. Yeah, and it makes sense. Earth Extremity says, not surprised James drinking water has been on the Pims all week. Exactly.
Yeah. We like to stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated.
Channel.
Buxton.
Absolutely.
It's not a sponsor of Wimbledon.
No, I think everyone is, yeah.
Oh, Earth's asking as well when Pippa's going to be back. Pippa will be back next week. So looking forward to having our expertise as we get into the crunch games. Let's touch on Yannick Sinner beating John Isner. I caught the end of the game and I caught a lot of the first set. So second set clearly went to a tie break. Obviously Isner's got a massive serve, but Sinner was brilliant today. Serving was fantastic. Isner didn't have a single break point to work with all game. Sinner was in control, was serving brilliantly. Obviously got the job done on the tie break in the second set, but in that first set, the bit I was watching especially, was really deep for the Isner serve, giving him plenty of time. And so when Isner did, because what that does, right, the further back you are, the more time you're giving a serve and volley player to run to the net. But when he made those runs, some of those shots Sinner hit sort of deep, or the passing shots, or forcing, really good plays from Isner. His returning was fantastic, and he was solid on his serve. He was better on the ground strokes all day, and he followed up what's been a good start to the tournament, beating Wawrinka, and I can't remember who he beat in the last round. He's followed up with another good win. Sinner's on a good run. Yeah,
I think another name that we're going to have to start paying attention to a little bit more. He maybe falls into the Alcaraz category a bit in terms of players who
10th seed
are playing really well, is a 10th seed, and is maybe again going about his business under the radar. But listen, if you can beat a John Isner who's just beaten Andy Murray, then listen, you can only beat what's in front of you, and Sinner has to take a lot of credit for that, the Italian. And again,
he's
if he gets through to the semis,
years old.
Well, if he gets through to the quarters,
oh my word, I thought he was older.
If he gets through to the quarters, he'll be far from a saint and more of a sinner. Or maybe a winner.
Or maybe a winner. I've got to say, very good. See, you say you don't want to do poetry with me.
Yeah. Seamus
20 years old. I had no idea he was that young. But yeah, he's beaten Wawrinka, as I said. He did it in 4 sets. He's beaten Isner. Alcaraz waits him in the next
Sinner
round.
Alcaraz. Now that is a game I need to watch.
That is
Italy versus Spain.
Sunday, fifth seed versus the 10th.
Yeah, prodigies from each country. I think
19 and 20
probably would have been the standout Italian if he didn't get COVID. But it looks like Sinner is going to take that place for him.
I've got to say, your Saturday and Sunday sorted. You've got Tsitsipas Kyrgios, which we're going to preview in a bit, and then you've got Sinner versus Alcaraz on the Sunday. So lots of fantastic tennis. I really hope they chuck that Sinner game around the 4 o'clock, because
that's all we're asking for.
They're just showing the Heather Watson highlights, because I'm busy on Sunday night and I really want to catch that game.
So what you're saying is basically Wimbledon need to organise their schedule around your...
If they could, that'd be great, because obviously we're doing live shows and that's what's important. But no, credit to Sinner, he was brilliant. He's got a very complete game actually, very complete game. I'll just have a look at some of the stats from that game. You're right, what I said about Djokovic, only 56% of his first serves made it in Sinner. John Isner hit 24 aces today.
It's not 36, is it?
Nope.
Which he got in the last game, but 24 aces.
A set less of tennis though.
Yeah, exactly. He's probably put on, I would say, if you add up all his 3 games so far, he's got 26, 32. He's probably pushing 80 aces in Wimbledon, which is in 3 games is pretty unbelievable, James. Like those numbers just don't really happen at top level tennis.
Yeah, he's just an unbelievable server. 24 aces, 2 double faults. Sinner not serving as well. I mean, his first serve percentage was better Isner's as well, but he's clearly got an effective second serve Sinner, and as I said, on the ground strokes he just looked a lot more comfortable than Isner. I mentioned the other day that the slice shot's being used a lot and people are just mixing it up on the grass, and that's what I love about it. There was some interesting commentary the other day. They were talking about, I can't remember which game it was, but basically there were some long rallies going on. They said it reminded them of French Open tennis or clay court tennis, essentially, where there's a lot more rallying, a lot more kind of grinding it out and waiting for the errors and, baseline to baseline. But in any match I've seen, I've not really seen too much of that, and that's just the nature of Wimbledon and the grass is, a lot more shorter points getting to the net. Watson came to the net a lot today, actually. We're watching her highlights now. She's very effective there. And this is her at deuce, 5-2 up in the second set. So they're showing the highlights of that on BBC One. Let's take some more comments before we round off the show. 77% saying that they are a fan of the underarm. Luke saying he can't wait to see Sinner versus Alcaraz. Dutch Christ says the underarm serve makes it more interesting as there is less baseline play. I agree. Tennis Files says, one of my favourite doubles partners asked me to hit underarm serves frequently. I was uncomfortable doing it, but it was effective at times. He would piss a lot of people off with it. I love that.
That's the thing, it does piss people off, and that's why I mentioned gamesmanship earlier. If you've got a doubles partner who is telling you when you have your little team talks to the side, listen, go underarm. Yeah. You know, you might not want to do it, but if your partner's telling you to do it so it can give them an advantage when they are quite close to the net for the return of that, then the point can be easily won. But again, it is gonna piss people off. Yeah, very true. Nicholas says Cam Norrie will make it to the semis at least. Doz says underarm serve spices things up. Can't forget Kyrgios versus Nadal in 2019. Federer's reaction was priceless. And then We Snooker with a super chat, thank you very much, says Kyrgios is the best thing to happen to tennis in over a decade. Refreshing seeing someone be themselves. Underarm is a tactic, not disrespectful. That's my stance on it. Right, time to come to the conclusion of the show with our looking at other results, previewing and doing some predictions as well. Let me just quickly get the Wimbledon results back up and we'll fly through them for both the men's and women's singles. So, as we mentioned, Cameron Norrie, 6-4, 6-1, 6-love win. Alcaraz, 6-3, 6-1, 6-2 win over Otter. Let me get his first name, Oscar Otter as well. Good performance for him. 0-0, absolutely. Djokovic, as we mentioned, and Sinner with the wins as well. Poole beating Vesely, 6-3, 6-2, 6-2. And Goffin in 4 sets beating Hugo Humbert. I want to get his first name in there. Hugo Humbert. I remember watching David Goffin about 7-8 years ago for the first time. I've told this story before, but I thought he looked really good on the day, and I've always kept an eye on him since. Very, very solid player. Going into this competition unseeded though. But in 4 sets after losing the first, 6-4, took the next 3, 7-5, 6-2, 7-5. TFO beating Bublik, as we mentioned, Bublik 6 underarm serves in 1 game. He did it in 4 sets, twice had to go to a tie break, but in the 4th set won it 6-4. Bublik hitting 25 aces on the day, so another big server there. Interesting, he's hit 25 aces, but was still attempting the underarms. So clearly it's a tactic, it's about mixing it up. Now, Basilashvili, sorry, I always struggle to get that one right, but Nicolas Basilashvili out to Tim van Rijthoven, who is meeting Djokovic in the next round. 21 aces he hit, another big server. Basilashvili, 22 seed going into this tournament, a good player. He's been knocked out, and Djokovic had some things to say about him before the game. His opponent Van Rijthoven saying he hadn't watched too much of him, but he is going to be doing his homework and says he's been having some big results. So he's clearly aware of what he can do. So we look forward to that. The women's singles, any results there that kind of piqued your interest or just in the women's singles?
No, in the men's that I just read out, but probably business as usual maybe.
Yeah, no real surprises really today. It's nice again to see Heather go through. It's nice to see Norrie go through. Probably those 2 are going to be the last standing Brits. But yeah, business as usual today, really. Caroline
Garcia, who broke her hearts when she beat Emma Raducanu on centre court, took 2 tie breaks, but she did it in 2 sets. 7-6, 7-6, 3 and 5. She did it against Zhang Shuai, the 33rd seed. Riska beats Bushkova. Bushkova beats Riska, the 28th seed, American 6-2, 6-3. Mertens beat Angelique Kerber 6-4, 7-5, and Sakari, another seed, out to Maria 6-3, 7-5. As we mentioned, Jabeur with the win, Watson with the win, Tsurenka out to Neymar in 3 sets, and Ostapenko in 3 sets after losing the first 6-3, goes on wins in the next 2 6-1, 6-1. So just shows you how unpredictable tennis can be. We know the doubles are going on. We'll start to cover that more from next week as well as Junior Wimbledon coming. Let's have a little look at what's to come tomorrow. Harmony Tan versus Katie Bolter.
That's a massive game.
That would be a good game. Obviously, Tan beating Serena Williams in the first round. I would love to have seen Katie Bolter versus Serena Williams, but Tan has absolutely earned her place there, and that would be a good game on court 2 at 11 a.m, so an early start there. Tol Mijanovic versus Krejcikova. I've absolutely butchered their names, I'm so sorry. On at 11 as well. Coco Gauff on centre court from 1:30 versus Anisimova. And then other big Haleps on court, Swiatek versus Cornet at 3, and Pegula as well versus Martic at 3. So we'll be keeping on the women's singles there. In the men's singles tomorrow, I can't wait to discuss this game. Nick Kyrgios versus Stefanos Tsitsipas at 4:15 on court 1. I think they should chuck that on centre court, but I think it's going to be a fantastic game.
Everyone needs to watch that.
That is going to be a great game for 4:15. Sonego, Nadal, Fritz as well on court, as well as Liam Brody. Can he get revenge for Jack Draper and the Brits against Alex de Minaur, who knocked Draper out in the last round? Gasquet as well, still going strong, as well as Sock. Richard Gasquet still playing.
Big game.
I know.
Been around a while.
Been around a while, terrific player, it's great to see. So guys, we've flown through some of the results and previews there. While I just get your thoughts on how this first week's gone generally, I'm going to get up the Wimbledon draw just so we can have a few predictions for who could be in the semi-finals, as you guys asked. Just a reminder as well, we are going to be live doing shows on Saturday and Sunday night. They will be slightly different. We won't be here on this wonderful set, but we are going to be back taking comments and summing up what has been going on.
Where are we going to be on Saturday and Sunday?
Well, I'll be
Is it online?
Yes.
Oh, it will be online, will it?
I'll be live online, yeah, from home, doing a little stream.
Nice,
feel free to join me if you can, but I think you're busy.
I think I'm busy Saturday and Sunday.
So yeah, I will be covering.
Be back for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Fair enough. Well, I'll be there covering what I can. So looking forward to that. So don't worry, there will be content across the weekend as well. Now, I'm just going to try and get the Wimbledon draw up because I kind of want to see how everything's lining up. Just very quickly, any comments you want to take or any thoughts on these first 5 days? It's been good.
Yeah, we'll do some thoughts and then I'll read out some comments. Easily the most invested I've been in a Wimbledon, I think. Ideally, you know, as the host country, I guess we would have liked to have seen a bit more action from Murray, from Emma. But there's going to be some stars coming out of this tournament that we might not have necessarily had down as stars before. You look at Heather Watson, is this her breakout year? She's playing doubles again. She's playing doubles today as well, from singles into doubles today. Yeah. That's great. Jamie Murray and Venus Williams about to win. Oh no, they're in the third set. They lost that second set. That's interesting. Yeah. But do you know what? Yeah, just some really big games. And now that we're all aware of the big hitters in the tournament, the guys that are going under the radar, the guys that are coming back from injuries, you know, we're really starting to see the competition forming up into what promises to be a great second week. Massive games at the weekend. Yeah. And I can't wait for the quarterfinals onwards because that's when we see the best tennis, the best players. Yeah. And yeah, bring it on. A couple of comments that I did want to read out.
Yeah, go for it.
Diogo says, James, do you own any Sergio Tacchini gear?
No.
Do you know what? I've got a couple of smaller T-shirts.
Oh, thank you.
Sergio ones, so I'll bring them in for you and you can have them.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
Because I've got a lot of Sergio. Sergio Tacchini actually made me my own custom. On the back it says the COP TV on it.
Oh wow! Oh lovely, that's sick.
So I've got a lot of tennis gear, but yeah, I'll definitely bring in a T-shirt for you. I can't believe Sinner versus Alcaraz is on court 1, says Luke C. As we mentioned, yes, we do think that should be on double C, centre court. Yeah. But yeah, no, the comments have been great today.
Yeah,
really
all you guys have been fantastic all week. We've really enjoyed it. We look forward to being back on the set on Monday to answer your question about predictions for the semi-finals. Here's how the draw's looking now. Of course, we've still got half the men to play their third round ties, but it could be. Listen, it's likely going to be Djokovic. I'm sure Van Rijthoven will give it, as good a shot as possible. But he was a wild card actually for the tournament. But Djokovic, to get there, will have to overcome a quarterfinal against one of Sinner or Alcaraz. And I think I'd love to see what a young Alcaraz can do against him. That's the tie I want to see. And I know being half Italian, and I've been really impressed with Sinner.
Be supporting Sinner.
But I think Alcaraz, from the bits I've seen, the little bits I've seen, Alcaraz has that little bit more magic, a little bit more out of nothing. So I'd love to see how he does against Djokovic.
I'd like to see that quarterfinal. Djokovic, Alcaraz, let's go.
So it looks like Djokovic could be in the final. And this, I mean, how great is this? The draw has really opened up for Norrie because he plays pool in the he plays pool in the fourth round. Yeah. If he wins, he plays one of Goffin Tiafoe, who is ranked higher than, in the quarterfinal. So he could be looking at a semi-final place against one of Novak Djokovic or Alcaraz Sinner van Rijthoven. How amazing would a semi-final, Norrie versus Djokovic? Can you imagine?
It's probably up there if he does get to it. Obviously, there's a long way to go. There's tennis still to play. But if he does get there, that has to be up there with the best tennis he's ever played in his career. But if you scroll down, I know I wouldn't. Obviously, we don't know who those games are yet, do we?
Well, yeah. So then we're looking at one of Tsitsipas or Kyrgios to book their place in the fourth round. So still a lot of work for them to do before we start really looking ahead. Dimon Brody, as we mentioned, but it looks like they could meet in a quarter final. One of Kyrgios or Tsitsipas versus Dimon. That would be a good game. And then projecting further ahead again, Nadal has got the likes of Sock or Fritz awaiting him in the quarter final. So maybe a Nadal, I'm projecting a Nadal versus Kyrgios or Tsitsipas semi-final. I love Tsitsipas, but I'm actually desperate to see Kyrgios go far, you know. I'd love to see Kyrgios in semi-final pressure against Nadal. How amazing would that be?
The popcorn value would definitely be up there if it's Kyrgios.
But what's great is it's setting itself up for some great quarterfinals.
Yeah.
You know, Dimon versus Tsitsipas or Kyrgios potentially, and then you're looking at one of Sock or Fritz maybe versus Nadal. It's
going to be some massive games next week.
Yeah.
And trust me, this is the best place to hear about them all.
We're going to have a lot of fun. Guys, we really hope you've enjoyed it. I've had a great time and things are really starting to get tasty. Do you know what? I'm really sorry we didn't even touch on the women's side of the game, but you know what? We're going to leave that for the next stream. We're going to start projecting how that is going to look. Maybe I'll touch on it tomorrow. We'll do it next week because we have run out of time. But we can't do all the content in one day.
We can try, but we can't.
But yeah, good to touch on that. And the next show, we'll have a look at the women's side of the draw, start projecting what the semi-finals will look like there as well. But they were just showing the highlights of Ons Jabeur. She was looking absolutely fantastic today. But Parry did too, and I think she's got a big future in the game. Guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Smash a like on this video if you did too. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Big up to Tennis Files and all you regulars. Diogo, I've seen you who've been joining the streams. Sorry, Luke as well, yeah, absolutely. Luke says, Alcaraz wins for me, expect some wonderful points, the crowd will be buzzing. Tennis Fast says, nice work, gents, see you next stream. Alex, a big thank you to you as well, a big thank you to production. Enjoy your Friday night, people. Wimbledon's been fantastic and it's only getting better, as you saw from that projection for the potential quarters and semis. I'm looking forward to it. See you on the next one.